All righty. We're good.
I'd like to open this meeting of the Bisbee Arts Commission this evening, Monday, July 12th at 5:30 p.m. First thing we'll do is roll call.
Jenny Druckman,
Here.
Juanetta Hill,
Present.
Bill Higgins,
Present.
Karen Schumacher,
Present.
Sharon Stetter,
Here.
Amy Brett is excused, Angela Rockefeller,
Here.
and Leslie Johns.
Here.
Nina here.
All right. So then we will move to item 1, which is approval of the minutes of the June 7th, 2021 meeting. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to look over it and wait for your motion.
I move that we approve the minutes of the June 20
June 7th.
June 7th meeting.
Did anybody have anything to change? Any questions? We're good? Then all ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Minutes are approved for the June 7th, 2021 meeting.
Apparently it cut out on my computer. Who seconded that?
Sharon.
Okay.
Setter.
Sorry about that.
All right, so we are just pretty much doing a lot of updates. And the first one is the update and discussion on the SIG art machine. Commissioner Stetter.
Quickly, I just checked it today. There were 44 sales since the first of the month. We have $880 in there.
Oh, nice. Oh, great.
That's the first.
So anyway, I'm still struggling to keep it full. That's all I have to report.
Well, Sharon, also, if you need, if you need help again, you let us know.
Really, it's just getting the artists to give me their stuff. It's not, yeah.
We need like a roving band of people to go push them
Take 'em.
around.
Anyway, stuff is coming in. It's the way it's going to be. And you know what? I don't think it needs to be any better. So I'm not going to worry about it.
Doing fine.
That's a really good motto.
Yeah,
Sometimes it really is. It's good the way it is.
just fine. Yeah.
Then we'll go to, if there's anything that anybody else has to add or not. No, then we'll go to item 3, which is the update on the Poets Corner. Let's see what Commissioner Druckman has been up to.
I've been out of town, so we've had a number of new recordings submitted in the last month. And I think next week we're going to run out of recordings. So Chris Sawyer will probably just start playing the whole thing again from the beginning. And literally, I don't know if there's anybody that I haven't contacted yet. So I don't know.
How many do we have so far that you've done? How many programs?
Well, there was that recording from the balcony scene, which had 19 tracks on it. Then I think we've submitted probably 6 to 8 more people. And Michael Gregory and all the poets have given me everybody's name that they can think of. So, and I've contacted all of them.
Okay.
So I think I might maybe have 2 people that have yet to do a recording that are on the original list that I could follow up with. But then I'll be sort of like having to, I don't know, reach out, start a whole new, I don't know what, advertise or.
Maybe through Jason at the Copper Queen Library, maybe they could put it in their news, letter thing and not have to advertise too difficult, but maybe.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Jason. I've talked to Allison about it and gotten kind of gotten nowhere, but that's a good idea because they used to have their monthly meetings or weekly.
And don't we often, do we give them money for some of their stuff, like the Friends of the Life? So yeah, so it's reciprocal. They'll do it.
I'll ask. Yeah.
Hey, Jenny, is this something that I think about the agenda item that's a couple down about how we're gonna advertise for the comic strip? Would it be something that we'd also want to advertise for?
Yeah,
You think so?
yeah, I think that's gonna be the next step.
What if we'll get to that in a second, but we're kind of, I guess it fits with the agenda item, but we could do an ad in the paper that advertises more than one thing at once if we did it, in a clever way.
Yeah,
That would be
Like we
very
are seeking submissions for comic strips and also, local poetry.
mhm.
Just
I think that's a good idea.
excellent idea.
Are we jumping ahead on our agenda?
And I guess actually, I did want to ask one final thing then. How would I, as the commissioner, put a request possibly on the Facebook for additional readers? Would I do it through the, Nina, how would I do it through the Bisbee Arts Commission on Facebook?
Both Karen and I have access to it, so either get it to me or get it to Karen, whatever you want it to say, and it can be posted
Okay.
there.
Okay, because I'll start there and then we can additionally put it in an advertisement, so,
that would be great.
okay.
The only thing about those sort of groups, like the Bisbee Arts Commission group, we had it with the craft school, central school too, is that unless you advertise, it goes to kind of no one. I mean, very few people. So you have to get people to share it that are not an organization, because Facebook has made the algorithm now so that they really want you to pay to get your message out.
Oh,
But we can get it up there. I mean, it shows me how many people see it. It's just, and it's not without a reason to do it, but I'm just telling you.
Oh, yeah,
unless it's
okay.
here.
So
mhm.
maybe if you do that process where you put at Sharon Stetter, then I will see it and then I can share it.
Right.
And then all of the people that see mine, we can do it that way. You could put at Bill Higgins, at anybody who's got a Facebook presence, we could all then copy it.
Good.
Okay, because I'm happy to do that. And then I could add it, I could share it to different groups
Yeah.
once we've put it up.
And maybe also put it in the neighbor site, Sierra Vista newspaper site, that neighbor thing.
Well, so Amy was going to be the touchstone for that, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Okay. Anything else about the Poets Corner?
Not right now, it sounds very nice.
Item 4 then is regarding the comic strip in the Bisbee Observer. I think that, well, I'll let Juanetta tell me, but of course, Juanetta, did you want to talk about this, or did you want to just go to the agenda item where the next one where we vote on putting an ad in the paper?
Well, I have reached out to Jason at the library, and wow. All the schools, when they were in session and outside, and Jason at the library, and I had people respond on Facebook, but never follow up with it. And I was wondering, my ego is probably about that high right now regarding the comic strip.
Yeah,
Do we want to continue to pursue this? It's been what,
Good question.
2 years? Sharon, you had this initially, but hasn't this been going on for?
Well,
seems
it
like-
has been, and I don't think there has been any real success with it. So it's really, if we decide to drop it, it's no big deal, I don't think. I think it's a good idea and I think it
Yes.
would work. But if people are not going to do it, you can't sit there and chain them to an easel. And as much as I used to try to do that, it doesn't work. So.
Yeah. Well, I know that people have expressed, I have a list actually, an interest, and no one's followed through.
hey, Juanetta, just as a note too, don't let it affect your ego. 'Cause I mean, and also I feel it too. It's a really, really weird time to get people to do things.
Mhm.
Like, I think that people want to party sort of, but
Yes,
I'm
they
not
do.
sure that I've noticed that with follow through on projects, people are really a little scattered. So that's not on you. I think that's just the state that we find America in at the moment.
Okay.
I just feel like I was lucky, Juanetta, because there are a lot of people that have already written a lot of poetry, and it wasn't that hard for them to participate. And as active as these people have been over the years, it was still like pulling teeth to get them to get me recordings. So I don't think you should feel bad at all. You tried and tried.
No,
You did
it's
fine.
a classic situation, especially with, I mean, it's stereotypical perhaps, but when one tries to get things out of artists, it is not always the easiest thing.
Hardest part of my job when I was an art dealer,
Really?
to get the art into the gallery.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
Nina Williams, we would like to request funding for a cattle prod.
Yes.
Can't do that now.
It's just for motivation, you know?
We're just gonna show it to them. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway.
Oh,
we'll
it's
go
only
let
for
us-
show and tell, not for use.
Yes, intimidate. Oops, excuse me, I didn't say that. So do we want to,
Let's put it on hold, Juanetta.
yes, and give me something else that I can have some success in.
Yeah, we have plenty of stuff coming up actually in this agenda where, so if you
Yes.
have any interest in any of these projects, especially if we're going to start planning an event. So let's get down the line and see if there's anything that you have interest in, okay?
Okay,
So with that said, item 5, then we're going to move on from so item 4, we're moving on from item 5. I don't have to table that, Nina, do I? We'll just skip over it, so don't worry about it. And then item 6, Commissioner Brett is not here, so we're going to skip over that as well, unless somebody has something they want to say. Same thing with Commissioner Brett, of course, is on that video project. She took on a project that it's a big project, you know? And we think of ourselves as supporting artists, but, you know, artists doing projects, but we ourselves are doing projects. And I know that that can be overwhelming.
yes.
That's where the joy lies in commissions like these, but it's also where the hard work and the, you know, the ego deflating can be. So
Karen, item 6 is the update on the current window. I didn't
Yeah.
put her, I
Yeah,
didn't
Amy-
put Amy's thing on there. The only thing I did leave on there for Amy was the neighbor, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to vote that we do it or if you wanted to wait on her.
I'm confused because on the agenda that I have for July 12th, my item 6 says update and discussion on local artist video project.
Wow.
You know what? Maybe
Mine-
there should have been a second one, a second agenda that I sent
Okay.
out. Sorry, because she had let me know after I had sent it out for comments that she wasn't going to be able to attend. So I tried to take everything off of there for next time.
Okay, well, I have this agenda in front of me, so let me know if I'm on an agenda item that doesn't exist. On a ghost agenda. I get the agenda a little early, so I guess I got a different copy. But so then item 6 is actually the update and discussion on the window tribute.
Yeah, the current one.
Okay. So I was going to tell you guys that I did have the Herald get back to me. I know that one of the things that they wanted to do was maybe get a few commission members together to take a picture. They've done that before. I had the flu for the last probably week and a half. I'm still a little, but I will get back to them now that I'm not on death's door or thinking that I'm on death's door. That's the only update that I have other than things to say about item 8. Does anybody have anything to say about item 6? Sorry, item 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then we'll go to item 7, which I believe would be discussion and possible action regarding the next window display at the Restoration Museum to include, but not limited to, the type, dates, etc. So last meeting, we talked about a few people we were thinking about doing. This evening, we're hopefully going to vote on that. Our beginning day is, don't bark. Sorry, not you guys, that thing. will begin in October. The new window would need to be up by October. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 6 months is kind of the amount of time. Did anybody, we talked about a few people, did anybody want to add anyone to the list of possible people that we were going to do the window about? Or Sharon, had you thought about that as well?
I did send, and it is in our packet here, a list of artists that were suggested to me. I can read them off. There's Donald Smiley, John Hishmati, Riva Myers, Fred Alpert, Rick DeVore, Charlie Nelson, Tony Soderstein, Laurie Kinsel, Dutch Pugmire, Rena Santa Cruz, and Ray Friendly.
Wow.
The ones that I have easiest access to getting stuff to make the window, and have it be kind of flourishing would be Riva Myers and Fred Alpert, just because I have connections for those people. It would be a matter of if you guys know any of these people and we can get more materials. So I throw that back out there to you guys. I don't know how I would necessarily.
The only one I know, so I was going to let you guys know, so the only one I know that would be relatively easy, if we wanted to do Hejmati, Doug Dunn donated a painting to us at the art auction that did not sell. It was priced very high for that auction that we actually do own. And we have a few artworks that I have in my studio that we do own. So we have a painting of his that we could use if we wanted to do it as a fundraiser as well.
Oh, cool.
It's really,
and that was about the time that we did the fundraiser for Riva Rose. So that would be nice. Yeah.
I don't know what the interest is in Hejmati now, and I don't know how to price it. It'd probably be something that we would talk to Luann maybe. I think Luann has handled a lot of Hejmati paintings. I mean, that's one of the things I'm not as familiar with his work, but I know that some of you guys probably you knew him or knew of him a little bit.
The Roca has Rod and Sally might. I mean, they have one of his paintings in one of the bathrooms. So, but he definitely had a lot of art around town. I just don't know who else.
Karen? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I know Mike Palmer had a lot of John Hishmati stuff before he died. And I could maybe talk to Betty Lindstrom and see if she knows what happened to those, because he had tons of it. And I have a Hishmati painting too that I'd be willing to have to see. And I think I actually have a lot of Rena Santa Cruz stuff flying around because we were friends with her when I was little. So if you're looking for that.
Yeah, that's cool, because I was thinking some of these people have been gone for quite a while. Who would you even be able to ask? So
you have to know if anybody has it. This is exactly how we have to do it.
Tony Soderson, I think we could easily come up with stuff from her as well. And she's, I put in a big vote for her. Her stuff is amazing. Ceramics.
What is Carol, was her husband's name Burns? Oh God, I got the last name incorrect. I know that he had a lot of his paintings in 55 Main for a while, and he passed away here. I have to go on my email and get his name, but she lives here in Bisbee and has quite a bit of her husband's paintings.
So let's kind of consider, when we're considering this, somebody who maybe made a difference in Bisbee. I don't know what should be the.
Well, that would be all of them made a difference. I mean, but when family members that are, still close by, or like maybe it's a little bit more fresh. I mean, and be a little bit more meaningful for people. Maybe it would probably be a situation where we're looking more at Riva.
Right.
Well, we could do multiple artists again, though. We could do a combination window. I don't know how much longer we're going to have this window available to us with the Restoration Museum. We're just assuming we just can keep going, but
Rena, Santa Cruz had stuff in the post office and lots, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking while we have access to people who have access to things, that might be a way to prioritize. Because, you know, now you're saying someone's almost, somebody's died who had contact with the dead artist stuff. So
What?
oh, never mind. We have to be able to contact people that still
Okay.
have the.
So Carol Bryan, Byrон. I know
her
that,
husband's name was,
I don't know her husband's name. I know
and he's the artist, right?
he's the artist and he passed away. I've been here, 5 years now? And he passed away just shortly before I arrived here. So I'm willing to talk with her, but if you're establishing some criteria, such as their impact on the community, I don't have that information. I know her very well, but I don't know.
Yeah. And actually, when I say that, I don't think it really it doesn't matter. All of the artists have an impact, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah, so this evening though, we're really trying to figure out, I mean, so Sharon, you brought up an interesting point, which is that when was the last time you talked to the Restoration Museum? Because I haven't talked to them recently. Do we need to find out much longer they're gonna allow? I mean, it seemed like they were very happy for us doing this.
They still are. I think, we should assume that we have this window one more time at least.
Okay.
And maybe we have it more times, but for one more time, do we want to put just one artist? Do we want to put two artists? Do we want to put three artists? No, which three artists would curate well together, or four artists? I think it gets complicated if the window isn't big enough but for example, pedestals with ceramic sculpture and paintings. I mean, you can integrate using space differently, some things on the wall, some things on pedestals to make an interesting installation.
Right.
So I like the idea of including like Tony's ceramics.
Yeah.
And possibly, and what years was she creating, Jenny?
Oh, she was here probably late 70s and died.
So she and Fred Alpert would show really well together, wouldn't they? For an era.
Yeah, they could for an era. Yeah, I mean, she was here much earlier than he was. She was more like with Heshmati era almost, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I mean,
so
yeah.
Well, let's move on from this and let's have a conversation on the side where everybody considers which artists would work well together. Based upon what you know. And I understand that some people are too new to the community to know much, So Jenny, you're kind of like one of our, Bill, I've only been here 16 years, it doesn't count.
I've only been here 3.
Karen,
are you saying that you don't want to vote on this tonight then, Sharon?
I think it's a long conversation about what it should be. And maybe Jenny what do you guys think? Do you want to carry on and try to hash it out? I don't mind hashing it out. I just don't know the work well enough to know what goes together.
Well, you want it in by when?
October.
So that would only be.
I want the work.
All right, so from the list of people that you read, Sharon, I think it would be just knowing some of those people. I think it would be a lot of Tony's stuff and a lot of people her and very fondly. So, I mean, that would be something I think would work really well. Heshmati, we're going back in time. It's a matter of I don't know if it matters if people remember the artists. I guess.
Well, that's why we're doing it,
Kind of
to
wondering.
have them remember. So.
Yeah.
I think that doing a ceramicist would
I
be
do too.
refreshing.
So who would that be? Tony and also Rena together?
No, Rena was a
Oh,
painter.
she was a painter. Okay, all right.
Re-
Sorry. I have wrong
Sorry.
info.
No, so I mean, we could do, the only thing about doing like 3 or 4 people at a time is that visually, I think it does get more confusing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the other flip side being that, do we have enough stuff of one person to fill a window? Do you guys believe that somebody like Tony we would be able to gather enough information and photos to do a cohesive window?
Can we
Yeah.
decide that if we do have enough for one artist, to go with that one artist as we explore the list and
can I-
see who has
Can
what?
I toss in though, once again, to consider for installation purposes, it might be nice if we go with a ceramicist to also have a painter, because we'll want to put something on the wall.
I agree. I feel like having the two-dimensional painting in the background, as well as the three-dimensional ceramics, they highlight one another and look better together than they would separately.
Jenny, how would Hishmati's work show with Tony's work?
Heshmati used a lot of colors, very colorful, and so is Tony. I'm not sure if they complement.
Maybe a lot.
It might be too colorful, but I also wanted to say that Tony did a lot of wall tile pieces.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And
If we can get enough stuff to fill a window, we can give it to her. I don't have a problem with that. So.
Yeah, that'll take some digging, so I could dig in, or I could try and find out about that and get back to
Yeah, I
you.
just need to have the resources of who to contact. I don't mind being the one to contact to say, I'm
Right.
happy to do that, and I'll do the contract for borrowing and all that stuff if people want that.
Yeah,
So,
I'll just
okay.
find out who I think you should contact. and get-
okay, thanks.
Then what
Yay.
I would say is that because this might be a little bit more complicated, we should probably just go ahead and it's not like we can't do other ones later. We should go ahead and approve Tony so that we can start the hard work of
Okay.
gathering it all. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I like the idea of a ceramicist, like a Bisbee ceramicist, and it
I do
sounds like
too.
she very, very well
Yeah.
known, has a lot of people in town. It sounds like it would be very refreshing.
Mhm.
So for clarification, you're asking to approve Tony by herself,
If we can get the inventory.
if you can get to, okay.
In the next month, if we find out that we cannot get the inventory, then we will come back to the agenda.
Okay.
So I move and I want to make sure that I pronounce her last name correctly. What is it?
Soderston?
What is it?
Soderston.
Say it again. Soderston.
Soderston.
So I'm going to go ahead and move to approve a Soderston window at the Restoration Museum to start as of October 1st and go on for 6 months. And like I said, I'm doing this just because if we find that we cannot do a whole window, we can come back, but that'll go ahead and give us the momentum that we're going to do this instead of, feeling
Right.
more fractured with all the other people. Does that
Yeah.
make sense to you
That
guys?
motion.
Yeah. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do I have an eye here? And I swear, like, if we just come back next
Right.
time and you're like, I can only find 3 things,
Mhm.
we'll reassess. But otherwise, these things keep on getting put back on the agenda and back on the agenda, which is partially my fault, but it's just so hard to get
Thank
it done.
you. Yeah.
My item numbers are completely off now
Mine too.
because I'm on my ghost agenda. And so the neighbor, I keep on saying Nabor, is not on your agenda. Is that correct?
Actually,
It
Doris,
is
no,
on
it's
the
not- it's
agenda.
item 8.
It's item 8. But we can table that until Amy gets back if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah,
I would like to do that because that was something that she said she was gonna do. And so, do I need to vote to table, or are we okay? You need
Vote to table. Yeah, go ahead and do that one.
I move to table item, oh God, 8, I think. Discussion and possible action regarding neighbor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All ayes. Any nays and no? So we'll table that till she reappears. Because the bigger one is coming up right here. It could be item 9. I'm just guessing. Discussion and including but not limited to size, location, or type of event. This was another one that got put back on the agenda because we were really just discussing it. We were not ready to vote. But Sharon Sitter had an idea that I thought was really interesting. I don't know if she still likes the idea about working with the farmers market. Do you want to explain?
Well, I
Sharon?
think that it would be really fun to do like a festival, Bisbee Festival of the Arts, or call it Art Under the Big Top. We have enough money for a venue. We could rent a large tent and then offer exhibition space to artists who have to, fill out application to be a part of the event, but give them the space. Artists have to usually pay $300 or some, portion of money for a 10 by 10 space in an event like this. Instead of asking them to pay for the space, they would actually have free use of the tent, within the confines of a space that we provide for them. And then when they sell something, then they could give a portion of the proceeds back to the BAC so that we can recover the expenses that we would incur. But what we would basically be doing is showcasing Bisbee artists right before the holidays, like maybe early November would be possibly a good time. And it would probably be fairly easy to do because we already have a decent active group of artists who are anxious to do something like this. So, think about a space at 40 by 60 tent will run us about $1,500, I think.
okay.
And with that, we could do, that's 2,400 square feet. It's a lot of square feet.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically you could get a lot of people into a space. I would love to do it in conjunction, like a 3-day, started on Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. This becomes the problem because we have to have artists that would be willing to sit with their booths for 3 days, but most of the times they will do that. And they'll have to set up and take down on a daily. Maybe it's just a Saturday, Sunday event. Maybe that's easier. But the tent would then be able to be going up on a Friday and come down on a Monday. And it's just a weekend in conjunction with the farmers market. And those artists that are craftspeople that are already paying for booths at the farmers market, maybe because we are going to be kind of imposing on their expenses during that particular weekend, we pay for those craftspeople's booth in the market as well, so that everybody gets equal billing.
Well, the one thing that we have to, so we're talking about the Saturday, the new farmers market.
The new farmers market that will be at Vista Park.
So we have to talk to them about, because they legally own the park. They are renting the park on Saturday.
Just that
So they-
one section, right? And I would want to go up above the Rose Garden
We still obviously we'd want to work with in
conjunction with them. Yes, I haven't put it to them, but I would think that it would draw people from all over the state to come to an arts festival. And we could have live music. I mean, it could be a really fun thing to do, leaving a lot of the work, of course, on the artists to do their own booths and their own installations and all that. So I don't know, does that sound like too much work for everybody? I used to be involved with the Tempe Arts Center's festival, the Tempe, huge, thousands of artists. So it doesn't scare me, but.
The only thing that I would say is that this is what I didn't realize you were talking about doing it for a whole weekend. I thought we were just doing it through the farmers market, but of course.
Well, yeah, and I thought it's a lot of work for just a day.
Getting tourists to go to Warren is not always because mostly it's locals going to the farmers market.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not sure how easy it would be to get people to go to you know, getting public that's not from here to go to Warren on a Sunday.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And then I was thinking, is there some event that might be happening up in City Park that we could coordinate with?
Well, I
Maybe.
talked to Nick Knight about the Rotary's wine tasting, and that's just a real mess right now. There's nobody taking control or charge. I thought about possibly doing something in conjunction with the Los Lobos concert on October 2nd, but that's coming up really fast.
Right.
You know, maybe we could do some sort of music thing prior to that, but you know, the thing, it's really, are we trying to put too much in front of ourselves too quickly is, I guess, the issue. And
Because then
the
there's
thing
the
about
window.
the thing about the art under the big top, it's the job of the artists to, you know, one of us or two of us at a time will be sitting there controlling the ebb and flow of people coming in and out or whatever, or, you know, maybe writing sales for artists. I don't know if we want to take on that job, but being able to control something of the inventory that comes in and out, and obviously we'd have to jury the stuff that comes in. It's a job. It's a job that I've done.
No, I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, but I think that having some sort of art festival, I'm always surprised there isn't one, you know. I come from the land of art
Me too.
festivals, where it's like, there's a river, let's put an art festival next to it. But it's just everywhere. But one of the things is the timing. I mean, I think we should do it. I think it's a great thing to do.
Mhm.
I don't know about Warren on the weekends.
Yeah, I really like the idea
I mean,
of maybe City Park, because we didn't have artists festivals per se, but we had lots of little craft fairs in there all over Old Bisbee all the time.
Mhm.
And a lot of people participated because it was just right there, you could walk in.
Mhm.
And then you could have music and and
And yeah.
great venue.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but I do like the idea of the farmer's market, you know, it's a great idea too. So
Right.
I don't know.
Can you set that size 10 up in City Park with the, with,
We'd have to go walk it off.
yeah, but
What?
you know, in Vista Park, you could drive stakes into the ground.
Right, you're right. Yeah.
In City Park, you're gonna have to find an alternative method.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm sure there is, but,
People sandbag
know what
them
that
when
would be.
they're on concrete,
yeah.
but
Right, that's a totally different, yeah, because you couldn't put it up in City Park.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you could,
No.
but yeah.
It's something I can research, find out what kind of tents there are, if there are any that are not needing to be staked.
Staked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I like the idea of a smaller thing at the farmer's market too, Sharon. That's the only thing I'm
Yeah,
trying
it
to.
doesn't have to be 40 by 60, guys.
uh,
That's the biggest tent they have.
I just want to point out that both of these things have to go through council for approval because we have to be approved to use those
The funds
properties.
that way, right?
No, not the funds, the
Oh,
property.
Property.
Right.
When is the blues festival?
October. I'm just guessing. I don't
Los
know.
Lobos is October 2nd. I don't know when in the blues festival is. It's usually in October,
Okay, and we're talking about September, November.
November. Maybe December, I don't know. November, we're a little safer weather-wise.
These things, as you know, Sharon, they take a while to plan. Obviously, you know that.
Yeah, it would have to be like, we'd be telling artists now to start creating inventory for an event.
That's why I was wondering if we wanted to look at it more long-term and look at spring. Because it feels like there has to be a pretty clear idea of exactly what we want.
Pretty quick.
ASAP in order to be able to properly plan it for November.
Yeah. Why don't you look into the tent thing, Sharon, and then that would maybe narrow down
Okay.
where we would be able to do something.
Yeah, and I want to give this as an option. I always do, but and I understand if it's not we always have the ability to ask for Central School's parking lot as well.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So City Park, Central School, and Vista Park are our options.
Yeah.
Mm.
Vista Park, we would have to go through something, I think it's really, I like the idea of City Park also for the bandstand. That's really
It's
classy,
so underutilized too.
Yeah,
right? It's just a matter of the tent,
right,
how we get a tent up there.
right.
But I'll go walk it off tomorrow, and then I'll call and see what we can possibly accommodate there. What we can do if we can have. The reason I want it to be contained indoors is because we can control so many things. It could go into the evening with cool lighting, and we could have the local restaurants making hors d'oeuvres to pass, and it could just be a lot of fun. So
Okay, so that's
under a
the
big
main-
tent. So I'll check into tent again. Okay. I just didn't take it that far because we hadn't talked about it yet, but right.
No, that's great. I think it's crazy to me that we do not have a craft or art.
It is.
Oh, by the way, this would be an arts and crafts festival. It wouldn't just be a fine art thing. We would invite any artists who want to participate, and I include the crafts people into that.
Because Marcia moved away, that's why.
No more yoga events.
No more art festivals.
So yeah, let's do some research on that, and then we'll come back the next time. It may be a little bit too soon to be trying to push it for November, but let's see what we find.
Are we going to encourage just Bisbee people, or are we going to open it up to anyone?
It's going to be mainly Bisbee,
Okay,
because this is what we do as a Bisbee Arts Commission. We focus on Bisbee, and so
Invitational.
yeah, invitational, and the artists are going to have to apply. It can be actually, I don't know. I think it's an application, not invitation, and we'll have to jury it. Who wants to be on the jury?
Automatically, we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah. Also, if you need me to do the math, I'm just curious how many people you can fit into that giant tent.
Well, 10 by 10 space, 24 artists, what is that? 24 artists needing 10 by 10, 2,400 square feet.
That's a good place to start. I mean, I think that always with these things, people think, oh, I'm gonna have do an art festival or something, and it's too big or it's too small. But I think that's a great place to start, and I think that people around this region would love to come here.
Yeah.
And go to one of those. And I grew up with them. I mean, I don't know if you guys have probably been to some too, where it turns into food and music and dancing and buying art.
yes.
And they're lovely. It's
The
always
Tempe had a huge one, the festival that Tempe used to do, and I was on the staff of that for a little while, and so was the director of my gallery. She was amazing. She could
How
do
far
whatever.
out do they usually start planning?
Oh, they're planning it constantly. It's an annual. They're always planning it. They never quit planning it, and they include 500 to 1,000 artists. A lot of artists. They close off several streets in Tempe. It's a huge festival. It's a lot of
See,
fun.
I would think something like this could easily grow into something like that too. I mean, this town is just perfect for it.
Yeah, we have bands. We have, all kinds of people to feature. So
Yeah, and once we do the initial year of it, there is a grant from the Arizona Commission on the Arts for festival grants,
Cool.
specifically for this kind of thing. And it's not a small amount of money. I don't know if they would be able to give it to us or because we're the city organization. I'd have to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to the commission. But I think it was like, if I remember correctly, it was like $30,000.
Woo.
So I mean, they really want to support those kind of things. I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
We'll go, and you can raise quite a bit of money.
Mhm.
So let's shoot for spring, late February, after the chocolate
Yeah,
tasting, after what used to be the yoga festival.
March, yeah. February's a little cold,
Hmm?
right?
Is
March,
February still a little cold? Would March be a good month to
Well,
look
March
at?
used to
Wind.
be windy.
Yeah, pre-wind.
We don't know anymore.
We don't know. That's true because it was windy March, April, May.
Right?
all bets are off. But yeah, let's think about the dates too, and I'll see. If
That's why a tent also, to control airflow, people's things don't blow over.
Wind
Yeah.
picks a tent up and it flies away.
No, it's gonna be huge. They won't be able to pick
Okay.
it up.
I mean, that's the thing too about December is nice too because of the traditional like Vinox Christmas markets and stuff, and people are
Shop.
motivated to buy
Right.
things for their loved ones. So I don't know. I could go either way. I'm just always worried about the amount of time right now. What month is it? I can't even remember. It's July.
July.
August, September,
Um,
October.
We could possibly do it. Let's look into it. And Sharon, have you already looked into where you can rent? a tent
Yeah,
like
there's
that
one
around
up in
here?
Tucson. So I just have to talk to them about how it would be installed. Actually, there was some place in Sierra Vista that was advertising, but they never got back to me. So I'll move up to Tucson. I think it's easier to deal with a bigger
And I'm
company.
assuming that the rental comes with them setting it up.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And taking it
It's not
down.
the arts committee.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah, then let's do a little bit more research. And then we'll go from there. And if you need me to walk off something with Sharon, like walk off the space at Central School or the city park, let me know, okay?
Yeah, probably do it tomorrow.
If you wanted to do it tomorrow after I pick up meet you,
Okay.
I'd go with you as well.
Okay, you don't, what time you gotta be to Sierra Vista?
I don't have, it's just a
A day.
long line of errands.
I get that. All
Yeah.
right, good, okay.
That's good. Anybody else have anything else to add?
So how do we, are we just going to put it for an agenda item for next time?
We're gonna hopefully be able to vote next time. We're not ready to vote.
We don't have enough
obviously know
information.
exactly what-
Okay, so still discussion.
So we're just discussing.
Okay.
So next time, let's see what we come up with, and then we'll go from there. And then, so item 10, I'm going to ask for your approval of a poster to advertise the grant funding through the Bisbee Arts Commission. This does not have an amount of money on it. Nina, does it need to?
You can specify it in the motion because you didn't tell me how much it was. So just specify it in the motion.
Okay, I started a poster. It's the same thing, just to get the new posters to get more people to apply for grant funding. So I'm going to ask for, starting off with about probably, I'm going to do 150, which is an overkill, but I'll spend quite a bit less than that. So my motion will be to ask for $150 and the approval of a poster to advertise the grant funding, just to go up all over the town.
I second that motion.
Do I have that's my second. All ayes?
Aye.
Fine.
Any nays? No. Then once again, it's just to get that information back out. And hopefully we'll have those in the next couple of weeks and start putting them up. So Nina, can I just spend the money and then turn in my receipt?
Yeah, and I'll just put this, when I do the minutes for it, I'll just attach it to it.
Thank you. And then we have item 11, which is discussion regarding parades in the city of Bisbee. We talked about this a little bit about doing a float for the next 4th of July parade. Did anybody go to the 4th of July parade?
We were out of town.
I was off.
Leslie did.
I looked, they only had one actual float,
Oh,
The Fiber Arts Guild.
the Fiber Arts Guild. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was maybe we could talk to Rotary about helping them get more people to make floats. If we ourselves can make a float, I mean, if we can't store it, I know that storage is hard here, parking is hard here, but I think that a town that's as artistic as Bisbee, Arizona should probably have more
Mhm.
than one float. And I would really like to help them, get more people interested, like the library could have a float and the Arts Commission
Montessori
could have a float,
School
or
should have a
Central School. Montessori, just to make it more, there feels like a very definitive line between Warren and Old
there is,
Bisbee.
isn't there?
There is. And it would be great to work and try and help them to get more people from over where I am right now in Old Bisbee, to participate in those kind of things. What do you guys think
Great
about that?
idea.
I think it's a great idea. Part of the low energy for the float, wasn't that just because we're coming out of COVID and people are exhausted and finding their
Well,
legs
there's
again?
never been a lot of
I
floats,
went to-
unfortunately. I've been to the parade every year. This is the year I missed it, but there's never been a significant artistic
Okay,
presence at the parade. It's
okay.
been military, it's been a lot of things, but it has not been artistic. So
And the only parades that we have over here in Old Bisbee are
wackadoodle.
wet.
Wackadoo.
So
We have
you had
Bratz.
the
Bratz is a parade.
The turkey vulture
Turkey
you did
vulture
Pride. The Pride
and
parade.
the solstice parades and
The little parades, they're not
Yeah.
interested in our help.
No.
They don't want it to be something that the city gets involved in, and I understand that. But when it comes turkey vultures, did Cato stop doing turkey vultures, right?
I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, she resigned, but she might change her mind, come back, because she's not going to Mexico anymore.
Okay, because we did support that in the last couple of years, so that's one. I mean, I guess Pride Parade would be the biggest parade that we have in Old Bisbee too, right?
Yeah.
Bratz parade is probably the biggest.
And it's Bratz. Does Bratz have a date as of?
October 24th is the date that they have, but there hasn't been a meeting, and I'm not jumping in to make that happen. I think I don't want to be that boss. So I'm waiting to hear. I mean, I'm certainly willing to help, but I don't want to do it. So
No, I understand that.
I've got a lot going in November. We've got a lot of stuff happening too. So
I just
family
wondered
wise.
what we could support, but I mean, it's 4th of July parade is the one that is the most important, it seems, for a varied selection of Bisbee. So maybe that would be the one that I'll talk to.
I think that's good.
I'll talk to Rotary and see what they say. Because I know that they mentioned even on their post that they only had one float. So I think they probably would love to have more floats.
Mhm.
And it's another way to bridge. Sometimes it feels like the arts are just here and we don't go over there, and
right.
I'd love to support all the areas of Bisbee.
And what about supporting the idea of floats from all of the, like Saginaw puts on a float, San Jose puts on a float, Bakersville. I mean, really, it could be community. If somebody could rally community to each community to do something that represents their part of Bisbee.
We could have a competition. We could have a competition and the best the best of. Anyhow, the recognizing which ward has the most expressive float.
Yeah, I just love the idea of bringing everybody together a little bit more on that.
Yeah. Competitions always inspire people.
So yeah, I'll talk to Rotary and go from there, at least about the 4th of July parade. But Jim, let me know if what Bratz is going to do too.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to tell me. Actually, I'll see Sam Wolcott tomorrow, which means I might run into Poe, and maybe I can like poke him. It's his thing. It's not my thing, and I don't want it to become my thing.
No, I understand that. All right. Well, then I'll start with talking to Rotary and seeing if they want our help. Item 12 then, and this one's for Angela, discussion regarding social media.
You just gave me a panic attack.
No, it was because we had talked before you left about if you would be interested in starting an Instagram account for the Arts Commission.
Oh, okay.
Because we need somebody to do it. And I think that would be a fairly easy project. All you would, they're all time consuming. But if you had any interest in at least that aspect, starting an Instagram for the Bisbee Arts Commission and manning that, posting different artists from.
And my biggest question would be, to do daily posts requires a lot of content.
How about monthly posts?
Once a week is
Monthly.
No.
No, to have people really get to get exposed to it much at all, we would need a 3-day a week is the minimum.
So,
And so, I have no trouble setting up the account. And even being the one that posts, I will say ahead of time, a caveat is that I'm kind of a technophobe. I'm not a person who is real knowledgeable about social media and how certain things work, but I can be pretty consistent over the long term as far as putting content out there. I am at a weekly posting of original content with Lunar Landings Instagram and Facebook page, and then I share from other art sources for my other 2 times a week, if not more, for content.
Angela, what about, would you feel comfortable setting it up? I mean, you have to do it with Nina, or Nina has to be able to get on there to delete anything in case we post something terrible. No, but they have to have control. But would you feel comfortable setting it up? And then we could always take turns. That's what we do at Central School too.
Okay.
So, like, I'll do it for like a couple weeks, and then another person takes it on for a couple weeks. That way, nobody gets, bogged down with
Yeah. Well, and I don't mind doing it, like, let's say for 3 months. Let's do it quarterly, trade out quarterly, because I think you get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
And the first couple of weeks, it feels like a chore, and then it just becomes like you don't even think about it. But for me, I guess the biggest thing is just how do we determine what is the kind of content that we want to post? Can it just be any view of art within the community?
Yeah.
Or,
It has to be, obviously, it has to be Bisbee centric. But beyond that, I mean, nobody wants to be seen as someone who's advertising themselves, right?
Of course.
And so that's, but just, it's easy enough, I think, in this town to see, other people, like if Jan Searle's posting paintings, asking, hey, can I post this on the, on our Instagram or, and after a while it gets a momentum of its own where you can just ask people to hashtag the Bisbee Arts Commission and we can just reshare what you're posting. And it's got it, but it's just that initial setting it up and getting it started.
Okay. And should I be doing that with Nina, or set it up and make sure she has access?
Just set it up and
That's
make
what
sure I have access.
Okay. So if I went ahead and set it up, then I can send you all the access information.
Yeah, send it to all of us and then she'll have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just
And
the initial setup, and then, I mean, you and I can always talk about, if you're like, I don't know what to post, I can always say, I have a bunch of stuff.
well, it's one of those things where I feel like all I'd have to do is take a walk through Bisbee and I could take pictures of enough stuff to post for weeks,
Sure. Well, also asking people, like, oh, you're doing, a review. We're going to put, posting about that. I mean, it's the majority of the Discover Bisbee web page or Instagram, for instance, is where they were just reposting other people's stuff. I mean, we can do a little bit of that we can do it kind of like that as well,
Well, and I also am wondering, would it be something fresher and more interesting to people on social media if as we traded out different commissioners, we had it be images through the eyes, artistic images through the eyes of that commissioner? I know it sounds
Or Jenny Druckman posting poetry, or Juanetta posting comic strips.
but I mean, there's just so much artistic and artistically inspiring in Bisbee that isn't necessarily something that's, an image hanging in an art gallery.
Right.
No,
There's just
I think you're
so
very-
much that we see, maybe a short video clip of somebody busking on the street corner, or the way the sun hits the window, or and I'm not saying to get way out there. I really want to focus on artists that can be named, and people could then go out and like, oh, I'm going to go see if I can find that person on in the real world.
Right.
Could we also, I don't know if this is possible, could we have pictures of some of the people that are working with grants and photos of some of the
That
process?
would be fun.
for sure.
And I think that that's
do that.
something that would be really interesting and catch people's eye, is the artists in the process.
Yeah, if it could be a mix of those three things, like upcoming art related events, everyday art life, of Bisbee, Arizona, and then grantee people that we've given grants to and what they're working on. I think that's like the perfect mix.
Help promote the grants. Yes.
Promote the grants and promote the people who get the grants, and promote, and I think we could do all three. I definitely, and I mean, I could easily email any of the people who've gotten. We have a bunch of pictures from turkey vultures and we didn't fund brats, but turkey vultures or Lori or Showcase Fatal. There's over the years, there's actually been quite a few things that we funded that have endless photos. So.
Okay. Yes, I am willing to do that.
Yeah, if you want to set it up, and then I can send you the logo.
Yes, please do.
Okay, let me write it to myself.
And if you get it started, Angela, where you like, okay, on Mondays I post, what I saw on the weekend in Bisbee, and on Wednesdays I post, whatever, the grant people receive. And then when you pass it on to the next person, they just carry on.
Yeah.
With their eyes, with their experience. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Great idea. I think it's great. So you're thinking like doing one each of those 1 day a week, right?
Or three days a week.
But like Mondays, one. So.
But a different category.
Yeah.
Each of those times.
Yeah. If you set it up in a way that makes it really easy for someone else to just step in and continue, that would be nice.
Of course.
Yeah. If we said like.
So let's do that. Do you want to go ahead and talk about what day you're going to do what, or you just want to start it and then we'll go from there?
Well, since I just pulled in last night from a 7,000-mile adventure,
I'll give you a day or two.
Yeah, give me a couple days to
do your laundry.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I just took my first shower in how long,
It's not like nobody expects you to do it tomorrow or anything, but just something that we should get started on when you're ready.
Yes,
okay?
I will.
I'll send you the logo in the next few days, so it doesn't feel
that
like
would be perfect. Send me the logo. Expect to hear back from me in the next 7 to 10 days.
All right, I like that. I like a hard timeline. All right, that sounds great. Thank you, Angela, for letting us do that. And the other part of that being, once again, Facebook, like I said, it's just like, it's very, I know the city experiences this probably too, maybe not so much, but like when you post on the Bisbee Arts Commission page, it like doesn't go anywhere, so it's very frustrating. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it. It's just that we have to share it every time. It's kind of complicated because
have to reshare it.
Facebook made it difficult. They've made it really difficult.
They want money.
The way I have found the best to get exposure to other people is I post on my business page, and then I share it on my private page, and then I ask people to share it.
That works, and also sharing it to groups like Bisbee Community. There's like I have like 20 of them. When I used to do the craft school, I would share to like 30 groups every time. And that really does work too, is it's getting it out there, but you really have to get people to share it. And it's funny how like when you ask people to share, they will share,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so that's the main thing. But we'll keep on working on that part. Let's get the Instagram started and we'll go from there. That sounds great.
Okay.
So item, who knows, discussion on how the Bisbee Arts Commission should spend their money. The thing that we wanted everyone to see is that how much money do we have? So we have $22,709.01. I really like that 1 cent.
Yeah, that's.
Don't lose that penny.
We got a penny as of June 30th. And so this was the money. So this has been raised a few years ago. We had an art auction where we raised an ungodly amount of money. And then the arts or the SIG art machine, you know, that was the idea, is that we didn't have to do the same kind of fundraising because the art machine brings in money on a regular basis. So we have this money. I just wanted to open it up. I wanted to show you guys how much money we have, what our budget is. That budget is one that I wrote with Nina. It's bigger than it ever has to be usually, because we want to be able to do what we want to be able to do. But if anybody has any ideas about spending that money, it sounds like if we're going to do a craft fair, we're going to probably art fair.
Yeah.
I say craft because I love craft, but art fair, that is going to be, that will take some money
We'll take the $3,000
of the operational
extra expenses. I don't
How
know.
much did you say we have again, Karen?
$22,709.01.
Okay.
Then we could make a really fantastic art festival, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, very true. I mean, that's why if we put it off until the beginning of next year, we could plan and really spend some money.
We could.
You know,
Yeah.
it would be wonderful to have an art festival where we have things like we involve culinary artists and musicians and performing artists, as well as visual artists.
Exactly.
And craft.
Yeah.
That's why,
You know, so-
that's why I like the city park, because you got all the options for that stuff.
Yeah.
That's where we used to do Earth Days, and you can have the music, you can have the food, you've got the bathrooms there, you've got the shade, the tables to eat. So it's got a lot of, and the
Yeah.
bleachers too.
No, I think it's great. I mean, and with that, the amount of money that we have, we could easily make, we have enough to really, the first year initially would be a little smaller, of course, but we have enough to advertise and stuff to get it out.
Mhm.
And the point is that we don't just spend money, we'll probably pull money in because artists hopefully will sell their inventory, that they bring, or something that they, we get a percentage of the sales, and we just make our money back and do it again and do it again and do, it's not just.
So each year can bankroll the next.
Right.
But
Yeah.
not to talk just about that, is there anything else that does anybody want to spend money on? I think this is a really funny question.
Vacation. Can't the Bisbee Arts Commission go to
Let's
Mexico?
go.
We could theoretically, what do they?
Nina, can we do this? Will you come with us?
I want
have a
area
retreat.
points
I would
installed
go
all
with
over
you,
town.
but we can't do that.
We just have to get enough of the people on the council to approve it. So Leslie, so yeah, we're gonna have a symposium of just ourselves in Peru next year. No,
We're really exhausted. We need it.
we're gonna 10,000 Waves in Santa Fe.
Okay, I'll pitch that.
You're like, our commission's tired. COVID was hard. So, but yeah, just I mean, this is just a discussion. So keep it open, keep your minds open that, if you're like, I always say this, but if you see somewhere where a little bit of money could help something that you see in this community and make it flourish, just bring it back to the Arts Commission so we can talk about it. Okay.
Well, the floats too, that would take a lot. I mean, that could take a lot of
Yeah,
money.
would we be able to give grants to these different little communities to make
Uh-huh.
these floats?
Yeah.
I think
Uh-huh.
that's a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we could. It's not in our
It's not
A
in the
budget, but I
budget.
think
The
it-
only thing in the budget is your grants. I said, well, Karen and I both said we were going to spend
Oh, that's
$7,000 on grants. We were going to spend $500
spend-
on advertising, $30 on postage, $3,000 on operational expenses. So that would be where the money would come for your event and things like that. And then equipment and repair maintenance for the cigarette machine, $250. So that's what I budgeted for us to spend with Karen this year for 21, 22.
I have a question for you then, Nina. So if we wanted to spend more money than that,
You can't
what
because
would
it's
we
not it.
have?
Well, we've already passed the budget, so we can't increase it.
So
You,
fiscal year is over with.
yeah. The fiscal
When does
year
the- when
started
does-
on July 1st and goes through June 30th of 2022.
So that's the limitation too about having an art festival is that we don't have the money. We have the money, but we can't spend the money.
Right,
And
because
is there any way to amend?
I can
Is
check
there
on
a way
that.
to?
I can check. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I can
because
check.
Other departments, I mean, yeah, if you'll let us know, because other departments I know go over budget.
Yeah.
got
and
the
then
money.
Right, but what happens is when they go over money, other departments at the end of the year have to give the extra money they have to make the people's budget that did not make it. So, but your
So
money can only be
there's no-
spent on the BAC.
But if we have the money, yeah, will you ask accounting if there's any way we can screw the system there? Well, because I mean, if we want to have an art festival, you know, you guys, we have to have money to do it, and I don't think that Nina's going to let us get away with calling everything a grant.
No.
But we could call the float. We could do grants for the floats. I do believe that would be within arguments reason, right?
I think that could be, yeah,
So
the
that-
individual
Communities. Yeah, or,
So
yeah.
right now we only have $3,000 that we could spend on an art fest. So yeah, we need to find that out from accounting before we go forward, I guess, too.
Okay, I'll pose that question to Carrie in the morning, but I don't think so. But next year, what I can do when we go to do the budget for next year, Karen, I'll make sure this is on my tickler that we want to put more money in the operational expense.
So Sharon, we'll have to find out, or we have to keep it small enough that we're only spending under $3,000. So
Right.
So we'll find out. So yeah, let me know. That'll be great. I just forgot about that limitation. I thought we were spending in money.
Can individuals donate to our art festival?
Yeah, you
There's
can
no
take in.
incentive to donate.
We can take donations.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, let's find out what they say. Let's find out how much this tent's going to cost and what we're going to need. I can start working up a budget with Sharon about what that cost is going to be for even a small
Right.
affair the first time. You know, because we are in this weird situation. I didn't even think about this till we got to this point where we only have a certain amount of money and that we've been allotted for the year because we have to do that every year.
Mhm.
So.
Oh,
But yeah, everybody think about obviously what we could be doing. But I think we have I think between floats and the art festival, I think those are two great ways to be spending our money. So we'll go from there and see if anybody knows anybody in finance, send some flowers to them.
They like chocolates
artwork?
too.
They
Finance.
like those little Judy Perry paintings.
Oh, they love those.
Oh my God. Yes, everyone does.
So anyway, future agenda items. I think, Nina, you know most of the ones that we've gone over tonight that we're going to repeat. Is there anything else that anybody wants on the agenda next time?
no.
I want to say something, but it's not for the next agenda. Well, I mean, it sort of is, so it kind of falls into that. For the next meeting in August, we're going to try to do it in person, if everyone is okay with that. It will be up to the individual if you want to wear your mask. I think what we'll do is we'll have it over at 76 Erie Street in our little kitchen area, because usually no one, other than when we're doing grant funding, no one usually attends. And I think we can separate enough for everybody, if everybody is okay with that. If you are not, email me and let me know, and we can work from there. But we were going to try to see if we could get some of the boards and commissions started in person, if that works for everybody.
The only concern I had is that we have a lot of commission members that are everywhere. You know, I don't even know where Sharon Sutter is half the time, but she's
I'm
not
in Bisbee right now.
You are right now,
Yeah.
but you have a lot of stuff going on, and so does Angela's. Angela's like on some life trip, you know.
Yeah. Well, I did
Um,
ask about hybrid, and I think we can do that, because even if she does it on the computer, she doesn't necessarily have to be seen on the video camera. As long as, we can hear her and we speak to her, she can hear us, and it's all recorded, I think it'll be fine. I will go follow up though with Ashley on the hybrid, but I think it'll be fine.
Right. Well, what do you guys feel like? I mean, I'm still obviously a little worried about the Delta variant. I'm not, I'm still have very mixed feelings about everything in life, but specifically, I mean, is there anybody that is uncomfortable with the idea of meeting in person?
I actually
Kinda.
looking forward to it. I have
You are? You've never been at one.
No.
Jenny, what do you think?
I just think, I don't know if we're even allowed. I'm vaccinated. I shouldn't be worried, but.
I mean,
No,
I think the
no, and if you're
majority
all
of us are,
not
but-
comfortable with that, that's fine. We don't, stop that. Sorry, that was my cat.
You don't have to do it.
Yeah, we don't have to do it. It was just a suggestion that we start in August if you wanted to. If you're not comfortable, we can do it in September. It's not a big deal.
If it's okay with everybody else, I would like to postpone it until September. And I'm
Okay.
sorry, Ann. Just because
no, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, and also I know Sharon does have to, do a lot of things all over the state, but also I just have been following the news, and I'm still kind of waiting to see what's happening. The headlines, of course, keep on getting worse and worse. The one being this morning on CNN, which is like wave of death coming for US. And I was like, so I don't know. I just think I'm not quite ready. I'm sorry to admit that.
All right.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's why I
good.
brought it up, just to see if what the interest was in it.
Yeah, let's wait until next month and then go from there if that's okay with you guys. Are you guys okay with that? I don't want to. All right.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, otherwise, I will hand it over to Bill
I
Higgins.
move that we adjourn.
I'm excited when he
I
does that.
second.
Do I have a second? Jenny seconds. All
Aye.
ayes. Any nays? Then good evening. And Angela,